So the other day, one of the boys in the group chat decided to make the sandwich. The sandwich is a diabolical combination of ham, cheese, should have stopped there, pulled pork, rice, okay, a little weird, a slice of pineapple, ramen noodles, mayonnaise, buffalo sauce, and then microwaved for exactly 35 seconds. And all of that is on top of whole wheat, obviously, because for a sandwich with 3 different carbs, we're watching our waistline, of course. He said it was incredible, by the way. I do not believe him.
Yeah, it's gamer time.
Anyway, this whole culinary miscarriage reminded me of someone special, a legendary internet personality from a decade ago who also birthed unspeakable abominations disguised as food. Not in the name of noble experimentation like the sandwich, but financial necessity. And then, despite our repeated objections, he would share his creations in painstaking detail. You see, this anonymous internet legend cooked food in the loosest sense of both words, the only ingredients being literally whatever hadn't spoiled in his crack den of a home, which was furnished with a chair and, well, that was pretty much it, aside from the army of possums, of course. Haunting. So prepare yourselves for an insane journey, Cosmic Cadets, because I would like to introduce to you a real buried treasure of the internet, the legend of the unfortunately unforgettable struggle meal king known as DinoTendies and his culinary war crimes. Slip slap. I'm SlappyPat, your cosmic tour guide through the niche and abandoned content of the internet, where we seek out buried treasure with a critical but appreciative eye and discover just what made it so important. First, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the man himself, and then I'll take you on a tour through one of his most iconic posts. After that, we'll discuss how this content holds up today and what, if anything, made it stand out from all the other internet content that has been left behind or forgotten. If you haven't already guessed from the screenshots, Mr. Tendies slithered his way into internet stardom from the slimy grease trap known as 4chan. This website needs no introduction. If you somehow haven't heard of 4chan, then according to their rules, I'm supposed to throw a bunch of slurs at you. And coincidentally, that kind of gives you an idea of the type of upstanding community that 4chan curates. Regardless, I bring this up because getting famous, quote unquote, on 4chan isn't like getting famous on any other website. You are truly anonymous here, unless you go through the process of actually setting up a username, which nobody does. Everyone's posts are numbered in order as they are created, and after too much shit is posted, the oldest threads get deleted forever. It's really easy for your thread to disappear before anyone even sees it, and since everyone is anonymous, it's also super easy to pretend to be someone else if you want to, which comes with its own slur. These guys really like slurs. Anyway, I'm bringing all this up because in order to stand out on 4chan, you have to really do something unique. In a sea of entrenched racism, ironic post-irony, and constant bitching and moaning about everything that's ever existed, you'd think it would be easy to stand out. You'd think. It's not. Building a brand is basically impossible, and it kind of goes against the whole anonymous ideal of this website. Shock factor doesn't stand out because everyone is constantly, always just being a dorky little edgelord all the time, forever and ever, amen. Repetition doesn't stand out either because everything's eventually deleted. Even gimmick posts can fail to stand out because we're all anonymous here, and anyone can impersonate you so easily and use your gimmick for themselves. Funnily enough, that's kind of the reason why 4chan is the birthplace of so many legendary internet memes you recognize today. One person's creativity becomes all of 4chan's creativity and eventually the internet at large. But sometimes, if we say our prayers every night, a sliver of gold will start to crown its shiny head out of the surrounding filth. A post so good, so bad, or so outrageous that users rush to document it before the thread inevitably gets deleted, along with the prophetic rallying cry of "put me in the screen cap." Sometimes a user will show up, drop a world-altering post, and skedaddle. And it will be so specifically disturbing that it's impossible to replicate. These are the types of people who become 4chan famous, the kind who simply cannot be copied. They are too recognizable. And DinoTendies might be the most recognizable of all. DinoTendies was ethereal. His distinct brand of setting and application could only be conjured up by his own uniquely diseased brain. Stuff that had such unmatched sensationalism as to be unrepeatable by anyone else. Here are some examples. Take a look at the 5-star kitchen he worked his magic in. I can taste the salmonella in the air. Bon appetit. And of course, to go with the kitchen, DinoTendies sprang only for the best tools of the trade, such as this mangled amalgamation of loose wires taped together and used as a whisk. The more astute among us might recognize this as a bunch of coat hangers. Wow. But sometimes, even DinoTendies couldn't afford such luxuries as basic fucking tools. And this is where he had to get really creative. I mean, how else would you heat up a hot dog? And finally, this is where he ate his... Well, I hesitate to call it food, but we'll get into that later. I particularly appreciate the framed Wendy's bag as decor. I fucking love the implication that this one Wendy's meal was like such a special occurrence for him as to frame it. Oh, remember the good times when I could afford fast food? Just thought of something even better would be is if he found this on the ground outside or something and it's like just the promise of fast food. He's never actually had enough money to buy it, but like, oh, maybe one day. Like this is his poster on the wall of like LeBron or something like, oh, maybe one day I could be LeBron. No. Maybe one day I could eat Wendy's. But hey, if you're only eating for one, do you really need more than this, you greedy children? Oh, aside from the family of literal wild animals he kept as roommates. Sorry, I forgot about that. He's not actually alone. No. Truly, there was no one else quite like DinoTendies, and let me tell you exactly what made him so special. You would think someone living like this would be the crustiest, stinkiest, most unemployed, turbo-geeked, caveman-ass heroin enjoyer who ever signed up for an internet connection. You'd think someone living like this would be utterly incomprehensible, barely able to type out a full sentence, much less document an entire process in fine detail. But nay, it was not so. Mr. DinoTendies was weirdly coherent and upbeat as he shamelessly blasphemed before the eyes of God. He had this quietly positive energy, like he was somehow grateful for this absolute hovel that he squatted in, which I don't even really want to think about what that implies, to be quite honest. How bad was it before it got to the... I don't want to know. So even as the onlookers of 4chan cried out in abject horror, demanded answers, pleaded for him to stop before he created a forced evolutionary virus level outbreak, DinoTendies literally never responded to anyone, never answered anything, never even seemed to notice in the slightest the kinds of reactions his posts were getting. Was this whole thing just some bizarre personal art project? Was it a really gross, really elaborate troll? I don't know, man. This would be a lot of effort for one shitpost, much less the many that followed. Everything was so perfectly executed, bordering on the full edge of insanity, but still maintaining a certain thoughtfulness, like the framed Wendy's bag from earlier and the bizarre, dangerous, but also kind of clever kitchen tools. It felt like an intentional joke, kind of, but it was also still so disgusting and unhinged that it felt like reality. No. It really seemed like this guy just truly lived like this, with this childlike naivete, or maybe somber perseverance would be more accurate. That's the thing that makes him special and kind of brilliant. He gave us only more questions, never answers. Was he actually this blind to how horrifically he lived? Or did he simply need to stay positive, because if he didn't, that would make his disgusting existence unbearable? No one fucking knew, and he never told us. What a fucking genius. You know, on second thought, maybe it was his possum roommates that got him through it. Imagine eating this by yourself, alone in your cold, stinky misery in this room. Even as these wild fucking animals, I cannot stress that enough, he had wild fucking animals living with him in his home, not outside, inside. Even as they stole part of your caloric allotment for the next 2 weeks, maybe it was worth being a little hungry just to have some company for a while, given the circumstances. Whatever possessed this man to do all of this, however real or not real it was, why he documented it and shared it with us, we'll never know. If it was all a big fucking joke, don't tell me, because DinoTendies made me believe in the tenacity of humanity, the ability for us to overcome adversity, no matter how ghoulishly haunting it could become. If he could survive through this, boy, I could really do anything, couldn't I? This man left a legacy unlike anything I've ever seen, and one day just disappeared like baby syrup into a tube sock. Let's be honest, he's super fucking dead. Sepsis or self-inflicted electrocution, or most likely just simple malnutrition finally caught up to him. He is not alive anymore, there's no fucking way. I mean, take a look at some of these, I'm simply going to call them creations. It is by definition not food. It is self-harm that you can digest. Maybe you can digest it. I don't think you'd have to be a fucking cow. I don't know. He gave all of this to us, and then he was just gone. Whatever happened, all that's left now are the Cheese Whiz encrusted archives of his old posts. And cadets, I owe you a full reading of one of his most iconic. Actually, never mind, you guys owe me. I had to scavenge through this shit like those fetish guys that scuba dive into your septic tank. If I had to see this shit in detail, so do you. Sit down and listen. Here we fucking go. But before we get into that, if you like my endless yapping, first of all, thank you so much. Maybe consider subscribing. And if you like my content, I finally enabled super thanks and channel memberships for those of you who want to help real, human-first, anti-brain rot creators like me succeed on YouTube. And I'm throwing something in it for you too. Going full-time would help me make episodes a lot quicker than I'm doing right now. And once we have enough channel members, I'm gonna let you guys decide the topics of future videos. There are 2 membership tiers. $5 a month if you just want to support me, and if you want the loyalty badges and the custom emojis and all that. And then a little bit more at $8 a month if you actually want to help choose the topic of the next video. But you still get all the stuff from the previous tier. That's right, I'm giving back to my community. I am a generous God. You guys giving me money makes me a generous person. But for real, thank you for giving me a chance with my first 10 videos. Now that I've gotten some experience under my belt, I'm really excited to keep making videos that are worth your time. Okay, I'm gonna stop the boring yapping now, and we're gonna get back to the funny haha yapping. Cosmic Cadets, please join me as we dumpster dive into the next stop on our tour of the old internet with one of the weirdest, greasiest, and most bizarrely captivating 4chan threads of all time. Tonight we make a deep dish pizza. Oh, I've been waiting for this. I'm leaving to go to the store now if anyone has any suggestions. I currently have some chicken I plan to use. Anchovies. Post pictures of the cat. I will when I get back. Also, I can't find anchovies, so I grabbed sardines. Ugh, no, this is a DinoTendies thread. Gummy bears, Plox, I'm asking nicely. Sorry I'm back home. We will do something next dish with them. Also, slight problem. I've forgotten I don't have wheat flour, but instead I have masa. I'm just gonna go with it. It's okay. I look forward to it. Quote, forgotten I don't have wheat flour, but instead I have masa. All pasta made with masa instead of flour shall henceforth be known as forgatini. Diced chicken, pan hot, sear chicken. I have a little baking going here. Once the chicken gets some color, cut the heat. Bring to a boil and set to a simmer. I'm at the edge of my seat. Drain most of your broth and save it for later. Where'd the broth come from? Add a little chipotle peppers and the sauce that it is good. If I had a lemon and lime, I would put them with the chicken. Shred chicken and add a touch of salt. Chop bacon and save the grease. It's just cooked meat. How does it already look so damn dirty? Oh, here we go. Take masa and add in some grease as well. Then add water. This might turn out all right. You have no idea. This is just going to be a regular decent meal. Quote, save the grease. What are you planning to do with it? You're making me nervous. I guess the food poisoning finally caught up to him. F. DinoTendies, we miss you. I guess DinoTendies finally is kill. I can't believe DinoTendies actually died. Sorry Al left in the middle of cooking. I saved all the prep and I'll post later tonight. Last picture I took before I left. DinoTendies! I'm still alive. I'll be back home in about 2 hours and we will finish this. Soon. I started this about time yesterday and need to get back home. My kitchen is wrecked. I'm back. Since I'm using masa, this is going to be a Mexican pizza. I'm going to start the rice now while I clean my kitchen. There was a bit of a problem with the sink yesterday. Okay, so we have the chicken broth from earlier, which we will use as the liquid to cook the rice in. I'll add a little tomato paste to the broth. In the pan is the leftover bacon grease. Add liquid. Stir one to get it all mixed in there and then bring to a boil. Once it starts to boil, cut it to a simmer. Wait for all the liquid to be absorbed by the rice. Take off heat and cover for 10 minutes. Using the broth water and bacon grease from a full 24 hours earlier. Did you refrigerate it? Okay, I think I caught it early enough and the rice will be good. Remember, don't stir it until the very end. You will be tempted to do it, but trust me, it will turn out much better. I'll put some salt, pepper, and cumin in it. A lime would be nice. Now to fix the crust. I kinda had a problem with it yesterday. Nice pie crust. Whisk eggs. Oh, that whisk. Soak crust. Hey, which end do you whisk with? Place in pan. Looking all right, I guess. Remember kids, don't forget to wire hanger your eggs thoroughly. What the fuck is happening? Have mercy. Sodium. This thread. I can't even begin to imagine what you're gonna do with those. For lean cuts of meat like this, add an egg for moisture. That fucking whisk. I'd like to see Ramsay react to this shit. Why is it on a trash bag? Cause he's got no plates. Peeling cheese while I wait. Where the fuck did you even go between last night and now? Wait, do you actually eat this though? It looks like dried out Play-Doh. Are you making a fucking pizza from this monstrosity? I think the rice will fall apart. Let's bind it with some chicken and egg. Thank you for this. Are you gonna plate it with a chainsaw again? Corn, beans, egg for binder. He's so happy. Reduce. Take a bite, fucker. Egg. Bind with egg. Oh, that's a big egg. This looks good. I'll try making it tomorrow. Bon apple tea. You didn't even put tomato sauce on it. It's just a bunch of fucking eggs and processed meat. For you. Show us the hot dog. Is that bacon bits sprinkled on top, or is it just fried Spam and Vienna sausage? The burnt table leg is taped back on. It looks charred. He probably regretted his decision and saved it due to that being like the only piece of furniture he owns. This is the closest to cooking he has ever managed. Thanks to everyone that enjoyed the thread. If anyone was wondering, it was actually good. The crust was a little dry and their Spam fish sausage layer was kind of odd, but overall pretty tasty. This will be my meals for the next 2 weeks. Oh, this was a good thread. I see the possum had a late night snack. Shit, dude. Are you gonna be okay? What are you gonna eat for the next 2 weeks? That poor, poor possum. I look back on DinoTendies' work as a whole, and I'm weirdly proud. Like, yeah, man, I'm one of the ones who gets it. If you look through enough of his posts, and I mean this sincerely, there is a lot of intelligence under the surface. Not in the crackhead gadgets he concocted, although kind of, but in how deeply he understood both the character he played and his audience. Yes, spoiler alert, this was almost assuredly an act of some sort. There's this obscure interview he gave on Substack that peels back the curtain just a little bit, but that doesn't take away from the story, the legend of this geeked out savant living off of spam and eggs with his feral possum roommate. 4chan isn't a place where you build a brand. It would be antithetical to the anonymity of its users who, as we all know very well, value their ability to say whatever they want. Which means DinoTendies did all of this for the love of the game, brother. And there is nowhere but the internet that this could have been done like this. I'm proud to be a part of that kind of internet and proud of DinoTendies for understanding that. I would even argue that the videos he posted on YouTube, while still great, do not achieve the same effect as waiting for the next picture on 4chan with a bunch of other anons, watching the process unfold in real time. A video is pruned, edited, observed more closely, which takes away some of the rawness of the process. The community isn't engaged in real time. It's not as personal. It's not quite as honest. And that's what I love most about the DinoTendies ideal. It's honesty, despite the act that it puts on. His posts embrace the culture that they came from. Yes, this is what we think is funny. I do think making a charcoal grill in your toilet because you're decrepitly poor is fucking hilarious. I do. Not so much the actual nightmare that real poverty causes and is a cause of, but the idea of someone living through that nightmare like this. The implication is what matters. It's the implication.
Because of the implication.
The implication of some wannabe how-to basic lunatic finding a way to survive in his own post-apocalypse, like a greasy rat bachelor. The implication of the rest of DinoTendies' life. The things left unsaid. The answers we never got. The way we just had to watch horror unfold and wonder at the rest. This was DinoTendies' true genius. He gave us just enough to stay curious. The internet today loves its 6-hour lore videos, its endless analysis and unnecessary exposition. No, to do otherwise would be leaving way too many views on the table. In contrast, DinoTendies understood the art of brevity and leaving things unanswered, letting your mind fill in the gaps. I believe that is much more creatively engaging than the 40th version of a 12-hour retrospective on Skyrim. Not that I haven't watched my fair share of those, but I digress. I won't expound on the gross depravity of 4chan or the rhetoric it exports. You do not need me to explain my dislike for the horrible part to justify my love for the best part. You know what my intention is here. Instead, I'm just gonna tell you that 4chan is human, with all of the ugliness and prejudice that comes with humanity, but also all of the honesty. DinoTendies did it for the love of the game. He gave this to us simply because it was funny, for the lulz, as it were. That's the honesty I'm talking about. That's what I love about the old internet. Before scalpers and influencers and passive income grifters and AI slop invaded every corner to monetize every last second of every pair of eyes watching. Those things will never be honest. So fuck all of those things. I want an internet where real people do real shit for other real people, just to experience something together. I don't want to forget why that matters. I don't want to have to question if every single viral video I see is staged or what this YouTuber is secretly trying to sell me or whatever else. I want more websites like 4chan when it's at its best. I want more creators like DinoTendies. So on my tier list, I rate the content I cover on a scale of how well it's aged and how badly we need more content like that today. I'm going to give DinoTendies a rating of decent ROI, which means that it has aged well, but not perfectly. The kayfabe falters a bit as he made more posts and the antics grew in absurdity. And while I do think that constantly raising the stakes is hilarious and somewhat necessary, I loved the believability that the earlier posts had. I also have to issue a correction and an apology for a previous episode. In the second episode of Internet Buried Treasure, I gave BBQ Mullet Billy a lower rating than I'm giving DinoTendies here, even though both of these creators are pretty similar in their content. Therefore, I am bumping up BBQ Mullet Billy to decent ROI, and I apologize profusely to the wonderful person who showed me his TikToks the first time. You were correct. He doesn't deserve the attic. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed your tour of the old internet, leave a tip for your guide in the form of a like. And if you'd like to visit again, be sure to hit subscribe and ding the bell. That way I know I've served you well. See you in the next one, Cosmic Cadets. Slip slap. This has been